morning to you all. Tony Virtue speaking, Virtue and Partners. We have a regular monthly update. Happy New Year to you. I hope you've had a decent break, particularly those of you here in Sydney, those of you overseas. You're in our thoughts there. Top of mind, I guess, is the Trump inauguration. As I mentioned, this is our 36 years now of service to our community, which works out as 9 presidents or 9 terms. So you kind of get a bit of a swing of this. The Republicans do have control of all levels of Parliament and government for the next 2 years. So an opportunity for them to bring in their legislative agenda, which we've listed some of that in the presentation for you there. I followed Trump really back into the mid-80s and been over to Coney Island, etc. there, and rereading now the Art of the Deal from 1987, and I'll just read, this was his famous saying, I try to learn from the past, but I plan for the future by focusing exclusively on the present. That's Donald Trump, 1987, which would go back 38 years now. So I think he's 78 now, so he said that at 40. The reason I say that is with muscle memory, we are the people that we are. We kind of learn from the past, and clearly he comes from that New York real estate deal making, and you can see that overriding a lot of the way that he sees things. You're either for him or against him, and you can see that the tech giants, the Magnificent Seven that really dominated the market, have very quickly coerced around him. That could be good and bad. You see things like this cryptocurrency situation and his own N coin and whatever, which supposedly has created more wealth for him than all those years of real estate. So there are aspects of this that are very, very hard for us to come to terms with. I think we just got to keep a sound mind about this. But let's look at the trends that really do impact our markets. First of all, the obvious growth of AI, artificial intelligence, and increasingly everyone has OpenAI on their desk. It is really being a lot more efficient in doing things. Most of my emails these days I do via audio to email, again really speeding things up. Now the combination of all of that is making businesses more efficient, which in theory makes them more profitable, which again makes them more valuable, which pushes up their share price, etc. And you see these subscription models coming through. And so that has really driven much of what you're seeing in that US market. In Australia, we're benefiting from that better technology. That's why you're seeing the banks at an all-time high at the moment. It really isn't their revenue going up, it is really their cost base reducing there. In Australia, we're coming into the interim earnings season next week. That will give us a better read as to profitability and, more importantly, outlook. We do rely very heavily on dividends in Australia to fund retirement portfolios. The 4 major banks pay 50% of the dividends on the market. At this stage, there is no suggestion that bad debts are getting out of control, so you should expect that dividend income stream, which is fully franked in most cases, to continue. We are moving into the electoral cycle here in Australia. It has to be held by mid-May, could be earlier. And you can see effectively now we're in caretaker mode in much that is going on. So probably not too much going on from a policy point of view now, but certainly a lot of politicking going on. It'll be obviously a cost of living situation, which is top of mind. The other thing top of mind at the moment, the futures market is forecasting an 80% likelihood of interest rates dropping in February by 0.25%. You're seeing them dropping in comparable countries, the US, the UK, Canada, Europe, etc. And you're seeing trend CPI coming down into a more normalised position there. So expect something to happen there. In some ways, markets have moved prior to that, which is common. Property will just probably drift until there is a very clear guideline as to what is going on there, and supply issues remain the same. The state government's looking to build more properties closer to the city with incentives. Victorians have got rid of stamp duty for new strata properties for the next 12 months, and they've got more work than most to do to get back on track. So look, in aggregate, it's going to be a very busy time. We're all geared up for it here. Everyone's back at work, and yes, we have AI and technology, but there's no shortcut for putting the time into people. That's when I'm very much at my happiest and being with you. There'll be plenty of functions, and opportunities to speak as the year goes on. So wherever you are in the world, Happy New Year to you. Tony Virtue, when experience pays.